My name's Nikki Gibson. I was diagnosed in 1982 with celiac.
My name's Matilda and I was diagnosed with celiac disease when I was 7.
My name is Cara and I was diagnosed 10 years ago when I was 28.
I'm Will and I was diagnosed when I was 3.
My name is Kay and I was diagnosed at the age of 32.
I'm Will and I was diagnosed when I was 10.
Coeliac is an autoimmune disease.
Your stomach can't process gluten properly.
If I have gluten, it's like acid on my intestines, on my bowel.
If you eat anything gluten, it burns the intestines flat, which stops you from absorbing any good foods. Celiac and gluten-free is two different things, really. Gluten-free is your product, celiac's the disease, that you can't change that. People out there think it's trendy to just jump on board and go gluten-free.
I don't like that very much because I don't really get the point in doing stuff like that when you don't need to, because it doesn't do anything, like it doesn't help you at all.
Don't fix what's not broken.
It's a way to treat people who have autoimmune diseases. Celiac disease obviously has the most significant reaction to it because it causes the body to attack itself. But with gluten protein being so hard to digest, anybody who has an autoimmune disease, it puts your body under stress. And when anybody who has an autoimmune disease's body's under distress, it starts attacking itself.
It's not something you can outgrow. It's with you forever.
It's not your choice. Your body doesn't like gluten and it can't process it, and it makes you unwell to have it, doesn't it?
What bothers me the most is people saying it's gluten intolerance and not calling it celiac, just saying, oh, you must get a little bit bloated and, you know, how bad, that really annoys me. I mean, a gluten intolerance is out there a lot, but to me, it's not an autoimmune disease. It's, you just feel like crap for a night, but this celiac, it wipes you out. It just frustrates me, the people who will sit there and whinge and moan about how disgusting they feel while they're shoving in the pasta,
The variety of symptoms can be so vast.
Within 10 minutes, an intense burning in the stomach.
I have diarrhea and vomiting, usually both at the same time.
He has significant weight loss.
I stopped growing.
A very bad migraine headache.
I get like really achy joints.
He gets extremely tired but doesn't sleep well.
I might go basically unconscious into an unconscious sleep.
He has night terrors.
Even trying to have a glass of water is just agony.
So even like a small amount of gluten can affect some people like me.
With celiac disease, you're stuck with that and you cannot risk having any gluten at all.
Just because you make something with gluten-free flour or pastry or whatever doesn't mean that it's technically gluten-free.
90% of things do have gluten of some form.
Gluten has become a cheap filler in so much of our food.
You never can relax, you always have to worry about it.
It means that when you go out to cafes or restaurants and things like that, that you're not guaranteed that you're going to get an actual gluten-free meal because of cross-contamination.
Because they'll be like, oh no, it's gluten-free. No, if you cook nuggets in there, it is not gluten-free.
She's got her own toaster and her own spreads, and there has been times when I've made her lunch and had to throw it away because I've accidentally used the wrong margarine.
And if you can't actually provide gluten-free food, don't say you can. The hardest thing would be never having access to convenience food.
I really miss my favourite foods.
Food's kind of not something I look forward to anymore.
The hardest part for me is the judgment.
You're never ever just sick.
Yeah, everybody knows, but they don't really know what it is, and they just know I just can't eat gluten.
It's not having that guaranteed safety that is a problem.
And trusting that the food you buy at a shop or a restaurant is gluten-free.
It's easier to obviously eat at home than eating out.
It's really frustrating when I can't go to trainings.
It holds me back from enjoying the day-to-day things with my family.
Most gluten-free food, obviously it seems to be a lot higher in salt and sugar, the convenience foods that you buy at the supermarket usually, but the most significant difference is cost.
Financially, it has not helped at all because it is quite expensive.
Why should we have to pay for having celiac.
So for us, it meant an increase to our food bill of probably 50 to 70%.
We're getting ripped off with having to pay so much for gluten-free products.
We've had friends that have just said out and out to us that they won't invite him to parties because it's too hard to cater.
The public probably don't really know exactly how bad it is and how it affects someone.
So it changes the way you socialise, and you see the way people change and how they treat him differently when you're reading their food and making sure the labels are safe. People will often treat you as if you're a bother.
You feel like they're not taking you seriously.
When you say you're a celiac and you're gluten-free, they don't take you seriously because their friend eats gluten and is fine. There's lots of things that scare me about celiac disease for him.
Intestinal cancer.
When I'm really sick, you feel like you're just dying, and actually you feel like you want to die.
Disorder of the stomach that's, worse than this.
He may have a shortened lifespan because of it.
For some reason doing so much damage that you don't function properly at all. That's my worst fear.
He has a 600% higher chance of developing childhood cancers because of a celiac disease.
I'd like GPs to be more informed.
If everything was just labelled on food in restaurants, just everywhere, it would be a hell of a lot easier to go out and do day-to-day things.
I'm not being held back with like bad stomachs or achy joints.
It is a really bad disease.
It's a serious disease. It's not a fad.
There's nothing really good about celiac disease.
We just get on with it, and yeah.